I actually did have a question for you that could be interesting on camera. A friend of mine had some kernel experience writing drivers for AMD.
Yeah.
And he heard you say a little while ago that there's not enough contributors, or you're having a hard time finding contributors. And he wondered where to start to look into what you could do.
So I think that probably came not so much from contributors as we have a hard time finding. We have a harder time finding maintainers than we have
That's what I meant to say.
people. Yes. So the problem is, there's a lot of programmers, a lot of them actually getting paid to do Linux kernel work, but it's much harder to find the kind of person who stays around for years. And also when you're a maintainer, it's not just that you have to know coding, you have to have enough of a background that people know you know coding, right? So there has to be some knowledge about you, and you can't come from nothing. And the other thing is you have to be pretty good at communication too. So that's why we are I think it's harder to find maintainers than it is to find people to code. I mean, we have tons of developers who like doing the coding part. I think people are kind of scared of taking the next step. People think that it's harder, or think that the expectations aren't necessarily higher than I don't think they are. The only thing you have to do is you have to step up. You have to have done enough that people recognize your name, but then you have to just step up and say, hey, I'd like to help maintain this area. And if you do that, the answer almost certainly is going to be yes. We want people who help maintain an area.
So what's the first touch point? Is it that you're going to be contributing and passing up the chain first?
Yeah. You do have to basically start. It's kind of like a lot of companies have this policy that you grow from within. That everybody starts at the bottom, and it doesn't have to be bottom, but you have to start out being a programmer that writes code, or not necessarily even code. Documentation is the exact same is true of documentation, tests, and stuff like that. We have maintainers for all of those areas, right? But you have to kind of show. You can't just show up and say, "Hey, I'd like to help." What you have to do is you write some code so that people get to know you, and then when they know you, when you say, hey, I'd like to help maintain and help carry, spread the burden around of maintenance.
Sorry, I'm just going to sneak in and grab this. I know I'm the one who put you guys here.
We have a ton of people who I'm sure would love to have more people reviewing patches, help when people go on vacations. Right.
So when you say that you have
to see how shy they are? They're all hovering.
I just spent the last 2 hours with you, though, so
They have experience. They can't come from nothing. Do you mean with the Linux project specifically, or with just coding in general?
I think you need to come into it coding into Linux. I mean, yes, you probably have experience from other sources too. Maybe you had other projects. Maybe you were doing commercial. But in order to get that name recognition where people know who you are, because I think personal trust is a big deal in open source, right? It's inside companies. It's like you got hired, you're working at the same company, so we trust you, kind of thing. You are part of the team now because our manager put you on the team.
You've gone through the process, we've verified.
Right. And in open source, that's not how it works. In open source, it's like, I trust you because I've seen you around. It doesn't necessarily take very long, right? There are maintainers, I mean, they've been around for ages now, but there are maintainers who became maintainers in a couple of months because they showed that, hey, they know what they're doing, and they were being helpful and doing the right things, and then they said, hey, can I help? And everybody said, yes, please, come on. Right. So it's it's actually not.
Right. I think like it's
Well,
really interesting.
I don't know.
Just like
I say it's not that hard,
Yeah.
but I only see the other side of it, so I may not see all the people who struggled and never made it.
So getting your foot in the door is like showing up and communicating with people who are on the project, seeing where you can lend a hand, reviewing, documentation.
Reviewing, and you do want to send patches too. So you want, and that's probably the first thing to do, even before you start reviewing, because in order for people to know that your reviews are worthwhile, they need to kind of know that your code is worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one of the advantages of the kernel. There are tons of different areas, right? Find the device or the architecture or whatever that you are interested in. Sometimes it could be file system, it could be encryption, it could be whatever. There's a lot of code. And find something that you care about and that you think you know something about and that you can see some improvement. Right? You find something you don't like,
I'll make sure.
fix it, you send a patch, you communicate with the maintainer, the existing maintainer of that problem. And that's how you kind of get the communication going.
Find something you've got a real itch for, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
And
great.
it doesn't have, the kernel may be a high profile project and one of the biggest ones around there, but let's be honest, there's thousands of open source projects, and kernels are I think kernels are the most interesting ones, but you don't have to do kernels.
Yeah.
Right. Realistically, we do have 35 years of code. So quite often, if there's something new that needs new code, it's often like new hardware support. Right. So that's, you mentioned he was a driver, writer. Did you say AMD?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's quite often how people get into kernel maintenance, because that's where there's always new devices.
They've cut their teeth in that kind of thing.
And they maybe most kernel developers these days are actually paid by companies to be kernel developers.
Interesting.
But sometimes they became kernel developers first, and then proved their skills. And at that point, companies came in and said, "Hey, we'll pay you to do this." But sometimes it goes the other way, where they're literally paid by companies to do something, and then they enjoy it and they become kernel developers. And they're still paid by companies, but they're part of the community.
Yeah. That's great. Well, thanks so much. It's really nice to meet you.
Just going to excuse myself for a minute. I got to go shoot some stuff. If I catch you on the way out, I'd love to say bye, but if not, again,
hey,
this was so great.
It seemed to work.
Oh,
Let's see how it works.
oh,
In the end.
I have no doubt.
If you edit it to be something crap, I will hate you forever.
Well, you heard it here first. No pressure.
No pressure.
I don't want to monopolize your time, but thank you for being like such a stalwart open source person. I built my career writing about 3D printers, so open source communities are so important to me.
Yeah,
and
no,
you're such a symbol in that.
Well, I get way too much credit. I mean, that's the thing. There's literally millions of us.
Oh yeah.
And I just get all the credit.
My brother would be so
Do you want your phone, or do you want me to take the screen cap for you?
I mean, I can get it on my. We'll get one of both. We'll get one on the phone.
Sure.
Thank you. My brother's gonna be so jealous. Long-time software developer. Sorry. I was looking. Oh, where were we? Where were you?
Oh, no, oh.
We need to, like,
look at this camera. Look at the camera. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Okay. We can get one.
All right.
Perfect.
All right, cool.
Thank you so much.
I think Pancrats was there, but I don't know where he went.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was
Everyone's
saying
just
to my
kinda
brother.
hovering
I was saying to my
around.
brother that I don't think I'll be.
Two of the biggest guys.
Maybe
that,
we're done.
Yeah, two of the biggest guys that wanted to meet you were out of office today. So
Oh,
Luke is.
that's too bad.
Yeah.
I might never meet a person who has had a bigger impact on the world.
Yeah.
Like,
We're really stroking his ego today.
I mean, like,
And
this is like.
that's just embarrassing because it's right. It's
Whether it was intentional or not, it's
Right.
just what ended up happening, right? Like, it's just.
yeah, but I get way too much credit.
Yeah.
Like I get credit for Git, and I did Git for 6 months, right?
But it was the right 6 months.
Okay. It was, and the design I'm proud of, but at the same time, it's like all of the infrastructure that made Git so useful to millions of people was built up by others.
But I think also you've imparted like a philosophy
Yeah,
behind all of your work that's inspired so many people, right? And like that's why these projects continue to work.
But I mean, there's a lot of other open source people.
Yeah.
Right. So, right person, right time, right project.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for 35 years. So that's part of it, right?
But it's only become increasingly important as the world has continued to
Yeah.